Zaidi boy here. Zaidiboy. You can Google me. Z Aidiboy. Yo, why? Why? Yo, maybe I can talk about the question why. Why? Okay? So this video, some YouTubers will do this thing. You'll ramble for a few minutes, then like Alex Becker, he calls this an intro. His guys will put a unicorn in there, or some cat flying across the ether shooting stardust out of its butt. Then he will corral his thoughts and talk about a specific thing that he had in mind. Now, guys, the question why? Why? So first of all, as some kind of context, this is memory lane for me. Like I tell people, and I do this thing, that's why I tell them. Like, this is an amazing thing. I'm going to share it with you guys. No, not my spray painted bike. Guys, I found the spray paint that I painted my bike with. This kind of thing. Right? Like, I find stuff. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I bought these shoes. Like, all this stuff. Like, this is like my wife gave me. Colombiana. Alright, anyway. So, guys, the question why. Yo. At one point in the journey, in one, okay, so it goes like this. This question, like, so I've got speeches, okay? I've got goddamn speeches. Thoughts I formulate, like, over the course of 10, 20, 50 years. Like, for example, what's the most important thing in life? Okay? You'll say peace and quiet, right? So right now, I mean, I have food in me, and I drank, and like coffee, and I smoked and everything, right? So like, and after that, like you don't need nothing, like it says in John, the Gospel of John, and like it says in like Islam. Prophet Muhammad said the same thing exactly, peace be upon him and his family, that whoever gets up in the morning and has whatever they need, their provisions for this world, right? I mean, because we live in a war-like situation. Like, you need to constantly resupply, reconnoiter, reconnaissance, okay, retrieve lost articles, like this kind of stuff, this kind of rubbish, read up, right, research. Like, so it's soldiering. So if you have the provisions for the day, according to Muhammad, you have been given the good of this life and the next, essentially. What the starting point of this for me is, any problems are self-created at this point. If you have food and clothes and all this kind of stuff, and like water, like you talk to people that have been rescued off a boat. For 2 weeks they've been surviving somehow in salt water that they're boiling or something like this on a petri dish. Like, it's hard. And when you don't have water for more than a day or two, like, this is very, very, very hard. Okay, so in Islam, in Shia Islam, the deed that will be rewarded the most on the Day of Judgment, as in on the scales of what deed is heavy and what deed is light, in both good and bad, giving a thirsty person water is the preeminent deed. It takes preeminence over every other deed. This is because water is so innate to our nature and we need it so much. Now, the question why. Question why is like this brook, okay? So a kid's gonna ask, why is this water flowing in one direction, okay? So now there's many things with this question, why? Why? Right, so why is the water flowing? Well, son, it comes up from the mountain. Yeah, so why does it come from the mountain, right? And you keep going back and it comes to God, basically. And this is also the Socratic method. Your boss says that, or somebody, like you're selling some software, let's say, like something from my world. It's not this easy, of course, but like you say to the customer, well, our software does X, Y, Z. Like the customer will be like, why? Why should I buy for you and not this other guy? Why? So now you're going to explain this thing, why you and why not your competitor. Let's just say this is what happens. It's nothing like this at all. You get the fucking guy drunk and you become his friend is what it is. and his boss and your guys are working his guys and girls. That's all that's going on. The software better work. This is a given. All the software does is what the competitor's software does. Like the real differentiator in any business is the people are the people. That's it. Like in your business, you are your business, basically. It's tricky because your brand is a business personality. It's a marketing personality. It's like an alter ego sometimes. Sometimes it reflects your real personality and your grassroots, and you're a naturalist and you're selling mountain boots. Sometimes it's like Slim Shady, most extreme example. Slim Shady and Marshall Mathers the third, aka aka Eminem, aka Slim Shady. Slim Shady is his alter ego, this repulsive, like to call him like antisocial. He's a fucking rapist and a serial killer, Slim Shady. He's a fucking pedophile. He's like the worst character ever that can be imagined. And so Marshall Mathers is none of these things, by the way. He's the opposite of all of these things. And he channels this raw energy. You can hear the beats coming in through the trees, guys. I literally had to come out here to get some peace and quiet. Like I went to my center today and prayed my afternoon prayer. And then it's like, I have some time. I'm waiting. I put out a proposal to a new client of mine. If they accept this proposal, then I'm going to be working with them for the next few months. So I'm kind of like on this, and I had a couple of realtors, like a realtor and a couple of clients, like, I needed a new client. Like my whole thing is I'm a consultant, and the optimal number of clients is one. And then you have 2 or 3 backup clients, 4 to 5 backup clients. I was just telling some people on the bus this kind of bullshit, the usual. Like, if you have a job, send out resumes to other companies while you are working. If you are working in a bank, if you're working at the Bank of Montreal here in Toronto, and you send a resume to the other big 5 banks, CIBC, TD Bank, Scotiabank, right? RBC, like whatever they're called, like CIBC, BMO, Scotia, CIBC. Like I have a pet peeve with the banks, of course, because they own 52+% of the money in Canada. But in any case, you send your resume, you work at TD, okay, Toronto Dominion Bank, you send your resume to Scotiabank. What's the guy going to say there, or girl? He or she is going to look at the resume and say, wow, they already have the job we're hiring for. They are hiring for CSRs, customer service. We're hiring for a customer service representative, basic person at the teller kind of thing, right? A customer service job. If anyone's watching this, guys, everybody wants to be a people person and everybody hates customer service jobs. Why? Why does this not make any sense to me? And it makes perfect sense to everybody. I told some kid the other day, like you get 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 people in this shop every day. It's an Esso station, this kind of thing. I don't know the numbers. I used to work at a Mac store. It was like 700 in a day back then. This was like 20 years ago. And a Mac store on the corner, like in some like suburb of Calgary, Alberta. Now, so out here in Toronto, an Esso station, I just said 2,000, 3,000 people. And I'm like, you have hundreds of interactions a day, right? Every interaction is an opportunity for you to increase your people skills, right? So you're going to be a customer service person and you hate your job and you don't honor people, you don't respect people, you don't like treat them like your boss. You're meant to treat your customer like your boss. Why? Because I just fucking said so. So now the question why. Now the customer is basically happy. That's one thing. Customer has objections. The customer, now you use the Socratic method again. Why? So it's like the customer, suddenly he's not answering your calls. He's not emailing you back. He said his boss is on vacation. His boss is going to come back and sign the document. It's the same old shit. Different quarter, different company, right? Different industry, I assume. Same fucking thing. Sales is sales. It really is. I've come around to understanding that it's all people. Every fucking thing is people, good and bad. So now, customer is not going to tell you why he doesn't want to buy. And the art of sales part of it is to get the real objection out of this guy. If a customer is not interested, that's one thing. But if he says no, this is good. Like, as you know, like you may have heard, if a customer says no and he's adamant, then there's something formulating in his mind and you're hooked. He's hooked with his emotions. He's like, no, and you're like, why? If you can get the why out of him, you win. Like if he says it's too much money, you can work out a deal with your boss and his boss and figure out the financing. If he says it's too big a license, you can work out any fucking problem a customer has. Within reason, you can figure it out. In the world of software, for sure. Like any fucking thing. Like we'll acquire another company and stick that fucking thing. We'll license some other solution and sell that to the customer if we need to. Anyway, I'm rambling. So why? Let me just resort to Friedrich Nietzsche very quickly. Again, everything I learned from Jordan Peterson about Friedrich Nietzsche is what I share with you. I don't know shit about Friedrich Nietzsche. I had Beyond Good and Evil, the book, the physical book, copy of this thing given to me by my dear friend Kate Suvorova at the University of Bridgeport, where we attended like 25 fucking years ago, this kind of thing. Now, I had this book for like more or less 25 years. I just literally lost it when COVID started. Fucking COVID ruined everything, right, as usual. Guys, if you are interested in Nietzsche, good luck. Beyond Good and Evil, I couldn't understand nothing out of this book. Nothing. You open this book to the middle, you'll find his sayings, aphorisms. I recommend you read Nietzsche's aphorisms. For example, I was talking about on another video, when chasing monsters, take care lest you become monsters. And the next sentence is, and when you stare into the abyss long enough, the abyss stares back into you. That's one statement of Nietzsche's. It's like the double whammy. First statement blows your fucking brains. Anything that's left over, you and your people. Second statement, bang. Nietzsche himself, according to Jordan Peterson, he says this: I say more in a line, right? I write more in a line. Like I say as much in a line that people do in a book. This is what he said. And Jordan Peterson's like, yeah, and that's the thing, right? And the point is everyone agrees. Like it's not just he says this. Every other philosopher of worth his merit, any so-called thinker, will say yes. Nietzsche in one line says more than others write in a book. Then, well, he says, I write as much in a line as people write in a book. Then his second statement is, nay, I write more in a line. And people are like, yeah, according to Jordan Peterson. And of course they're like, yeah, because I listen to plenty of YouTube videos about Nietzsche. I've read plenty of books about Nietzsche, watched movies about Nietzsche, this kind of thing. Like, when I try to read Nietzsche directly, I try to listen to the audio of Thus Spoke Zarathustra. I got the PDF, I changed it to a Word file, I got a piece of software called AI Reader. It's an app, something like this on Android. It goes through the Word document and reads it out. I listened to like a few books this way. I couldn't understand Thus Spoke Zarathustra. So thank you, Jordan Peterson, for educating this guy on Nietzsche. And like, yo, I know the fucking thing. By the way, like your salient points, Mr. Peterson. Yo, so Jordan Peterson, according to him, like this is what Nietzsche says. God is dead and we have killed him and we will never be able to wash the blood off our hands. It's a long statement. It's not just God is dead. Like God is dead, like you turn Nietzsche into this mystical, atheist, agnostic kind of wandering in the wild and woods. And he did all of this stuff, by the way. He used to walk around in the woods of Austria and like stuff like this. And he was a character. Whether or not he's atheist, this is not neither here nor there. But God in this statement doesn't refer to God in heaven. I just want to clarify this. God is dead and we have killed him. God is the Catholic Church. Just let that be known. God is dead and we have killed him. No one believes in the Catholic Church anymore. Okay? Pedophiles, rape, witch hunting, killing children, killing women, killing Christians, killing Muslims, killing Jews, killing any fucking person and everything. Millions of people, hundreds of thousands, 40,000 women were raped and tortured to death during this witch hunt in Salem. Was all throughout Europe. It wasn't just Salem, right? It was like 40 years. So now, Renaissance, French Revolution, Enlightenment. By this time in like the scientific revolution, people are like, God is dead. Like, like, notwithstanding people like Isaac Newton saying things like the Bible is the best book in the world, and like real fucking heroes, like Oliver Dickens, like Charles Dickens said this. Like, he's the best novelist in the world, frankly, as far as I'm concerned. Like, I recently read, like last year, like David Copperfield. I've never read anything like this in my life in any language. This book is the best novel in the world. David Copperfield. Guys, I was so close to these characters in this book. I swear I would tell this to people. I was in jail at the time. I'd tell them, I'd try to get them interested in this thing. I'd be like, yo, I feel so close to these characters. If I came to know somehow that one of y'all was fucking around with one of these people, I'd be pissed off, this kind of thing. If anyone like offended the dignity of one of these hard-working fishermen and farmers and these kinds of people in this story. So now, the question why. Nietzsche, again. So God has killed him and God is dead and we have killed him. We don't longer believe in the church. So God is dead. That's what this statement means. And because God is dead and we've killed him, by the way, we will never be able to wash the blood off our hands. I don't know what this means. It could mean that the church is still here and their resurgence as pedophiles, and we gotta fucking kill them again and keep wiping the blood off our hands and it doesn't disappear. Who knows? Nietzsche, the statement of his is still unfolding in time, this kind of bullshit. So now, in Beyond Good and Evil, I am referring you again to Jordan Peterson. You can watch a video of Jordan Peterson's. You can go to Google and write in Jordan Peterson, Nietzsche. Nietzche. This kind of thing. Like, the spelling, of course, is tricky. Nietzsche said the following. If you have a why, the what doesn't matter. That's what I wanted to talk about right now. So I came down memory lane, guys. I tell people that you need to come out to nature because you don't have time to meditate. Okay? If you have time to meditate, then do whatever you want after that. This is my statement to you. If you get a good like David Lynch, the movie maker, like his words are as follows: transcendental meditation, call it what you like. Meditation is money in the bank. Meditation is everything. If you can meditate and get into that thing, whatever that is, like your zone, that space, that thing, then you are the guru and you teach me whatever you like. I'm a Muslim, I'm just telling you what works for me. I don't have time to meditate. It's got too much on my mind. When I wake up in the morning, I just can't wait to exercise, and I jog, and I pray, and then I have breakfast, and then I'm on the phone, and then I have to work. I'm a consultant. I gotta work my fucking face off, and I love it, right? I may be a poor man. I'm a very happy man. People have a nice car. Yo, I have the kind of time on my bike that you can't even fathom. Like, you cannot imagine, like, the kind of fun I have on this bike. You can't imagine, okay? And like, the girls love it, whatever. Like, I'm married. I tell these girls that I'm married and they still don't fuck off. I'm telling you what. Anyway, I'm swearing. All I want to say is that the question why is very important. If you have a why, the what doesn't matter. And then in Amway, they say, they take this thing and they add onto it or they reformulate it. Something like, if you have a why, the what doesn't matter. This kind of thing. The how doesn't matter is what they say in Amway. Like, your why, like, why are you building this business? Like, why am I a consultant? I'm a consultant because I don't like working for people and I don't like being told what to do. And I can't. I'm unemployable, right? So I got, like, not on me. I got a forklift operator's license. I got CPR. Like, somewhere floating in the cyberspace, like, I admit, unusable because now I have a criminal record. Like, I have a security guard license, like, on file, this kind of thing. So now, this is because I need to work. Like, I'm intelligent beyond most consultants, okay? And I have better communication skills than most consultants, this kind of bullshit. But I've struggled really hard. Along the way, I've done a lot of internet marketing, a lot. I can teach you how to make money online, period, in any given way that you're interested in. Because I've done them all, and I made money in all of them. I've made tens of thousands of dollars over the course of like 10 years or so, like whatever, if this is what you want to hear. Like online, I don't know, I don't care. Like, I don't do it for the money. I simply don't know. Like on a month-to-month basis, I don't know what's coming in online, who's clicking on what. Like I may be locked out of Google or Facebook or some bullshit. Like my main Zaidiboy account, Zaidiboy, I keep plugging this account, and it's like I've been begging and trying online and offline for 2 years to get back into this account. Google kicked me out of it, right? And I pay them as a AdSense and AdWords customer. Like I run ads, Google ads, right, on my website and different things like on my websites, or like I have YouTube channels. I have a YouTube channel that I'm trying to build up currently, this one, and then monetize it one day. These kinds of things. Like, so I do this stuff, like, and it's so, you got to do your thing. And like, I'm coming back to this whole thing of like, do your thing and the money will find you. However, just be aware, it's not lots of money. Like, this is a thing, like, do your thing and you'll be taken care of is more appropriate. Like if you do the thing, if you say do the thing and the money will find you, then you're doing it for the money, not the thing, right? Anyway, what's your thing? Like this is what you got to figure out, right? So now, if you have a why, the how doesn't matter, is what they say in Amway. So like, I'm gonna be a baseball player, says some kid. That's it. Like, so every day his dad is like, son, what did you say before you went to sleep last night? 50 times? I'm going to be a baseball player. Son, what did you write in your notepad this morning before school? Like I've told you, and I'm giving you pocket money extra to do this. I'm a superstar baseball player. If the kid does this, he's going to win. He's going to, if he reads about it and writes about it and talks about it to his dad, there's a very good chance he's going to make his mark in baseball, this kind of thing, on some level. Now, you have a why, so like the how is he going to become a baseball player? Like, of course he's going to train his face off. His dad's going to take loans for equipment and cut out of work to take him to practice, whatever. But the how will take care of itself. Now, that's not what Nietzsche said. Nietzsche said the following. This is very cool, guys. So if you have a why, the what doesn't matter, which means the following. Like, I could be sitting here and it's heaven. It literally is heaven, right? It's nice and cool. It's hot enough that I got my shoes off, and it's cool enough that, like, whatever, I got my hat on, whatever. And I managed to make, like, almost for the first time in my YouTubing career, a cogent video about a specific fucking statement that occurred to me that I have wanted to talk about and talk out. Because as I mentioned, I do this thing, I got talking points. Like, I learned this from people like Vince Lombardi. You pay the guy 10 grand for a speech. It takes maybe an hour. Same speech every time. You think, well, like, listen, the guy gives the same speech. We can just give our guys a transcript of the speech or a recording. Or like our assistant coach is going to memorize it and that guy's... No. Everyone knows that you're getting the Lombardi magic, as in Mr. Vincent Lombardi himself is what you're paying for. His fucking aura, his energy, his vibe is going to infect your fucking guys for months. So now, if you have a why, the what doesn't matter. So I could be sitting here depressed if I don't have a why. Like if I'm sitting here and I have no purpose in life, like, so I'm sitting here and it's like, I got time on my hands. It's easier to explain this thing, like this perspective of why, from the opposite angle, which is the negative. So let's say your son, God forbid, gets run over by a car. This is called a bad what. What happened? Your son is now in hospital. It is a tragedy. He may or may not die. This gets worse. It doesn't get better, of course. So now, he passes away. And then you become the advocate to get street signs put up in your neighborhood, bylaws enacted, and laws changed so that other kids are safe. You turn this what into a why that gives it meaning and gives your life meaning. Now you're the hero dad. Now you're like, yo, the kid, you say to yourself, he's smiling in heaven. Everything's worthwhile. Do you understand? So that's what that is. Like, so if you have a why, the way the Amway guys say it doesn't work for me. Like, yo, you write down your goals. I want to get my mom a boat. I want to get my dad a boat. I want to get my sister a boat, right? And this is a why. The problem is they're fake whys. My whole thing is pay your bills. Pay your bills. Work your face off. Pay your bills. Just do that. And every day write stuff down. You're going to write your goals down. You're going to like list down every different day, different thing. One day you're going to be writing a note to your boss. You're never going to send it to him. But you're going to get these thoughts out. Guys, thank you for watching. Let me know what you think. This was a great video, right? I'm running out of battery. I mean, this was like a must watch, a must see, a must shoot for me, right? I came here and it's like, yo, I didn't want to do this, like, but like I got memory on this new phone and it's like, it's an iPhone. What are you going to do, right? So now, thank you. I appreciate you watching this. And yeah, man, like send me some comments, stuff like this. I don't know what else to say. Like, I guess like have a nice day. I'm amazed. Like, oh yeah. So memory lane. So I used to 2018 to 2019/20. This is a very like symbolic place for me. Like this is where I came to get my life back together when I was like smoking weed last time around. Now this is this time around, 2 years later, because I ended up in the same situation for whatever reason. I could get into it. Like I started taking like I lost everything. I smoked weed and I lost my marriage, my career, my brains, every fucking thing. My mind to living on the streets. I'm writing about it. Okay, bit.ly/ everyone is bipolar. Capital first letter and hyphens. Right? Or just shoot me a comment and whatever. Like I'll talk to you, I'll send you links and I'll help you. Like if you send me comments, I'm your man. Like my goal, the way I work with people is I will make you succeed if you're the right person. And then when you're successful, you're going to shoot me some sliver to deliver is what it's called. Like if I bring you business, you want to start up online and I bring you business, of course you're going to pay me some money. Like a commission, let's just put it this way. So now memory lane, you go back to the places that you've lived in, worked at or hung out in. I promise you, you will lose your mind. It's based on Islamic teaching and Carlos Castaneda teaching that you need to constantly relive your life. Like people say you shouldn't think about the past, like forget the past. This is total shit. You need to constantly relive the past every day. In Shia Islam, our seventh Imam, peace be upon him, said, whoever doesn't do this is not one of us. You're meant to relive your day throughout the day, if not just once a day. Hasibu qabla an yatahasabu. Come something like this. Take an account of yourself before your account is taken. When you go to memory lane, I'm overcome. People are looking at me and I'm like biking or walking and I'm like, I just feel the memories, guys. I learned a new word, empath. I met some guy, he's a chef who used to build restaurants, something like this. I'm gonna be working with that guy too, because like I've got this thing now, guys. It's mastery. Like right now, everything is coming together for me, like marketing, everything, right? It's like physical fitness, everything, right? And it's like the only thing, of course, is my wife, and that's the main thing. Anyway, happy wife, happy life, right? Thanks for watching. Take care. Go down memory lane. You'll be amazed. Okay, relive the good and bad parts of your life. This is how you learn about yourself. Thank God for good things, and then blame yourself for bad things. You may not believe in God, but do you believe in good? Got you, didn't I, you bastards?